The energy outside that courthouse was unreal. Cameras were flashing, reporters were shouting, and a thick tension hung in the air like a storm about to break. People had been waiting all morning just to catch a glimpse of Teyana Taylor, Iman Shumpert, and Aaron Pierre walking in for what was supposed to be another quiet custody hearing. But no one could have imagined how things would go down that day. What started as a routine court appearance turned into one of the most explosive celebrity moments of the year. The exact second Aaron Pierre looked Iman dead in the eye and said, "You lost her, bro." Those 4 words changed everything. In seconds, phones went up, clips started rolling, and within hours, the moment had spread across the internet like wildfire. People couldn't believe what they were seeing. Aaron and Iman face to face, outside a courthouse, with years of anger and heartbreak spilling out right in front of flashing cameras. For fans who had followed their messy love triangle for months, this was the moment everything boiled over. Witnesses say it all started when Iman showed up first, walking up the courthouse steps with his legal team. He looked tense, serious, focused, and clearly in no mood for drama. He'd been fighting to gain more custody rights over his daughters with Tiana, and you could see the pressure written all over his face. Minutes later, Aaron arrived with his own people. He was dressed in dark shades, jaw tight, moving like a man who already knew a confrontation was coming. You could feel the energy shift instantly, like 2 storms colliding. People started murmuring. Fans who had been waiting outside pulled out their phones, whispering, "They're both here." Security guards stiffened, knowing exactly who these 2 men were. And just as the crowd began to settle, Aaron stopped at the top of the steps and looked right at Iman. For a moment, neither said a word. The silence was thick, the air heavy with history, years of love, betrayal, jealousy, and pain wrapped into one quiet stare. Then Aaron took a slow step forward. Iman didn't move. You could tell both of them were holding back, trying to stay composed under all those flashing cameras. But then, out of nowhere, Aaron said it, "You lost her, bro." Loud enough for everyone to hear. Loud enough for phones to catch it. Crystal clear. The crowd gasped. Iman's head turned slightly, like he couldn't believe what he'd just heard. For a second, it looked like he was about to walk away. But then he stopped. His jaw clenched. His eyes locked on Aaron. Every muscle in his body looked tense, like he was one breath away from exploding. A security guard stepped between them, whispering something that only they could hear. But the damage was already done. The cameras had caught everything. Within minutes, the clip hit social media. "You lost her, bro" became the quote of the day. Twitter blew up. TikTok users stitched reactions. Gossip blogs reposted it with captions like, "This is wild," and Aaron really said that outside court. In just one afternoon, millions of people had seen it, and everyone had an opinion. But before diving into the internet chaos, you need to understand what led to this, because this wasn't some random outburst. This was years of tension finally snapping in public. It all goes back to the breakdown of Tiana and Iman's marriage. They had been together for years, and for the longest time, they were considered one of the strongest couples in Hollywood. They had love, family, chemistry, everything people admired. But behind the scenes, cracks started to form. Rumors of infidelity began swirling. Fights got louder, and eventually, they decided to separate. Then came Aaron Pierre, a talented British actor known for his calm confidence and magnetic charm. He met Tiana while working on a project, and the 2 clicked instantly. For Tiana, it felt like a fresh start. Someone who saw her for who she was, not just a wife or a mother, but a woman with dreams, emotions, and a heart that had been through too much. But for Iman, that connection felt like betrayal. Watching his ex-wife fall for someone else so soon after their split was something he couldn't handle. And while Tiana tried to move forward, Iman couldn't let go. He started fighting harder for custody, showing up in court with lawyers, filing new motions, and even accusing Aaron of being a bad influence. Tiana stayed mostly quiet, trying to keep peace for the sake of her kids. But the tension kept growing. Fans noticed it too in interviews, social media posts, even in the way Iman would talk about family and fatherhood. Something was brewing, and everyone could feel it. So by the time they all ended up at that courthouse together, emotions were already at a breaking point. Iman was angry, protective, maybe even a little humiliated. Aaron was tired of being painted as the villain. And Tiana, she was exhausted, tired of being caught between 2 men fighting over her like she was a trophy. Inside the courthouse, things had already been tense. Sources say Iman and Aaron avoided eye contact during the hearing. but the energy was undeniable. When the session ended, reporters were waiting outside for statements. Tiana slipped out quietly through a side door, hoping to avoid drama. But fate had other plans. That's when Iman and Aaron crossed paths again, this time without lawyers, without judges, just two men standing face to face in front of the world. And when Aaron threw those words, "You lost her, bro," it wasn't just an insult. It was a statement, a declaration that Tiana was no longer Iman's to fight over. Fans immediately split into sides online, Team Iman versus Team Aaron. Some people called Aaron disrespectful, saying, "You don't taunt a man who's clearly hurting over his family." Others praised him for standing his ground, claiming Iman had been playing the victim for too long. But no matter what side people were on, everyone agreed on one thing: it was one of the boldest, most shocking moments they'd ever seen. Tiana's reaction, though, was the one everyone wanted to know. According to insiders, she was furious when she found out about the confrontation, not because she wanted to defend either man, but because she was tired of being dragged into their public war. She reportedly told her team, "This is embarrassing. I'm done being in the middle of their egos." That same night, she posted a short message on Instagram: "Peace isn't a place, it's protection." Fans immediately took it as a reference to the incident. Some said it was her way of saying she's walking away from both men. Others felt it was a cry for calm in the middle of chaos. Either way, it was clear that Tiana was done with the drama, but the internet was T.by the next morning. The clip had been remixed, slowed down, captioned, and turned into memes. People edited dramatic music behind it, added boxing sound effects, and even compared it to movie scenes. Hashtags like #YouLostHerBro and #Team Teyana trended for days straight. Some fans even made merch out of the quote shirts and hoodies with "You lost her, bro" written across them. It was messy, funny, and sad all at once. But behind the jokes, the reality was much heavier. Sources close to Iman say he took it hard. He reportedly told a friend, "It's not about losing her, it's about respect." Those words hit differently because, for Iman, this was never just about romance. It was about family, image, and pride. He had built his identity around being Tiana's protector and father to their kids. Seeing another man step into that space publicly, especially someone as calm and unbothered as Aaron, cut deep. Meanwhile, Aaron stayed silent, no interviews, no tweets, no statements. But a source close to him told a gossip site that Aaron doesn't regret what he said. He's tired of being painted as the bad guy. The source claimed he wasn't trying to start a fight, he was just tired of being disrespected. That comment alone reignited debates online. Was Aaron standing up for himself? Or was he adding fuel to a fire that should have been put out long ago? The craziest part of all this was how Tiana's family got dragged in. Reports say her mother, Nikki, called both men after seeing the clip and begged them to stop embarrassing her daughter. She reminded them that there are children involved, and that this public mess isn't helping anyone. Fans applauded her for stepping up, saying she was the only one acting like an adult in the situation. Despite that, the damage was done. The video had already gone viral, and now people were analyzing every frame like detectives. They slowed down the footage, trying to read Iman's lips after Aaron's comment. Some thought Iman said, "Watch yourself." Others claimed he mouthed, "You regret this." Whether true or not, it added another layer of mystery. In the days that followed, paparazzi spotted both men separately. Iman was seen leaving a gym in silence, looking visibly upset. Aaron was photographed grabbing coffee alone, wearing a hoodie and headphones, ignoring questions from reporters. Meanwhile, Tiana stayed quiet, choosing peace over press. But even in her silence, fans kept guessing what she was thinking. The debate continued. Who was right? Who went too far? And what did this mean for Tiana's future with either of them? Some fans predicted that this confrontation might actually push her further away from both men. Others thought she might end up siding with Aaron since he stood up to Iman. But the truth is, no one really knows what Tiana wants anymore. She's been through heartbreak, public scrutiny, and emotional chaos, all while trying to raise her kids and protect her peace. Just when fans hoped for calm, new footage leaked Iman being pulled away, shouting, "You'll see what happens next." Rumors exploded. Legal threats, restraining order talk, Iman's team considering filing, while Aaron's side claimed it was just words, not violence. The feud was turning into a full-blown public war. Fans rallied behind Tiana with hashtags like "Protect Tiana" and "Let Her Heal," begging for peace. The viral "you lost her, bro" moment, once a meme, now felt like a symbol of heartbreak and ego. Court drama was heating up again, with whispers that Tiana might demand strict new boundaries between the two men. What's next, a truce? Or a bigger storm? The world waits. Because one thing's for sure, this story is far from over.